Alright guys, welcome back here to LJ Reaction. As you can see by the title, we are back, people. Episode 10 of Behind the Curtain. Again, thank you all the new subscribers who joined the channel. The reason why I'm even bringing back Behind the Curtain is I got some more interest from other people who wanted me to bring back Behind the Curtain, which you guys know. If you're new to the channel, I actually was inspired by JD from my 206 again. Been watching the dude since his WrestleMania 29 review. If you guys following JD since this song, he's about to hit 100,000 subscribers. I've been following him since his WrestleMania 29 review, which again, that time again I was still in I'm still in college, but I was just starting college, and I was like, you know what? He's doing something that I actually wanted to do. So again, I've been doing YouTube for about, this is gonna be going on to the second year of me doing YouTube, and again, I've been inspired by him to even start this podcast. I'm very passionate about wrestling. I mean, so bringing back Behind the Curtain because the guys demanded it, and I got new subs. So like the offer more content than besides just wrestling. But again, I wanted to have a wrestling podcast so I can get you guys, you get my opinions on wrestling more than just the reaction videos. You get my full breakdown and news and rumors. And then again, because my new schedule at work, I'm not able to react to pay-per-views with you guys live anymore. So I'm trying to give you guys more of a platform where at least you're getting something wrestling news-wise, like a podcast. And then again, when I get home, I'll probably just react to certain matches you guys say stand it out. So that's what we're going to be doing. Going to be episode number 10. Bringing it back for you guys full effect. So I'm going to give you guys what we're going to talk about for today for part 1. Again, I'm recording this Thursday night because you guys can see the background. Red Dead Redemption 2 is still installing. Got another 40 minutes, so you know what? Like, just knock out the podcast while it's installing. So you guys will have this for you guys tomorrow morning. It'll be up there probably around maybe 10 o'clock or 9. I'll probably upload it. So on episode 10, what we're going to be talking about today, again, I like to break down stuff in segments. So you guys, today you're going to get, right now we got 5 segments. So for today's show, you're going to have backstage update on John Cena WWE Crown Jewel status. Will he be at the show? Sasha Banks revealed why WWE took her off wrestling. If you guys are like, what happened to Sasha Banks? Remember that point where it was like 4 or 5 weeks we got no Sasha Banks? She's going to tell you guys why she was pulled. And really the biggest news today, I'll get to Q3 earnings, which will be, I think it'll be in this video too. WWE Crown Jewel is going to take place in Saudi Arabia. We probably knew that, guys, already. Backstage news on who knew about Roman Reigns being having leukemia. So I'm going to tell you guys who knew about Roman Reigns even having leukemia. And reaction to Evolution. What is the statement backstage? What is the status backstage? How do people feel about Evolution pay-per-view? So that's going to be all in today's video. But before we get go over the podcast, I'd like to break down the news rumors too. And also the week in review of WWE. So we all know Monday Night Raw. Sorry guys, WWE did take down my Roman Reigns video. That was at 40,000 views, but they took it down for whatever reason. I'm not gonna re-upload it, but again, if you guys want to know my reaction to it, since they took down my reaction, I was shocked as many people because again, that whole weekend I was heard about was Roman had an injury. So it was like disguised as Roman Reigns had an injury. I didn't even know again he had leukemia, but the reason how I knew was like, okay, there's something real going on here because. You know, guys know, back when Roman Reigns had that feud with Brock Lesnar going to WrestleMania, right? Remember when he got suspended? And then, like, he came and attacked Brock Lesnar? He was still dressed in his Shield gear. So, to see, I've never seen Roman Reigns out of his Shield gear. Whenever Roman has done any attacks or suspensions or whatever, he's always ready to go. He's always ready to fight. So, Roman Reigns was actually in his Shield gear. I'm like, okay, he's in his Shield gear. On Raw, he was in street clothes. Whenever, again, like I was telling you guys, whenever you see anybody in street clothes, it was what? Batista, Edge, or John Cena. I think, I'm trying to think of any more people. No, Kurt Angle. I don't think he ever relinquished the belt. But anyways, you got my drift. Batista, Cena, Edge. And whenever they're out there in rain gear, you know something's about to go down. When I saw Roman Reigns in his street clothes, because again, Raw has been so trash of late. Because Arrow comes on the same time as Raw. So I was watching Arrow. But I was like, let me just see what's going to happen with Raw. Because remember, they had announced it was going to be a 6-man tag match. Shield again versus the Dogs of War. But then they later changed that date to this Ambrose and Rollins versus McIntyre and Ziggler. They had just changed it to that. So then I was like, wow, okay, I guess Roman really is injured. You know what I'm saying? So when Raw started and Roman Reigns was in his regular gear, I was like, oh shit. Roman's about to relinquish the belt. This injury must be very, very, very seriously. He's going to have. And then Roman said he has leukemia. I was like, dang, bro. Anyways, as much as anybody gives Roman Reigns flack, as you know, people in the wrestling community like, you know what? We don't hate Joe. We hate the character of Roman Reigns. You never want to wish any ill will to any superstar. Any superstar. As much as you may hate somebody, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want to wish this on anybody. So Raw itself, that was like the biggest story. Roman Reigns was the biggest story on Raw. We had now back to real reasons. Braun Strowman, Elias, Dean Ambrose. Those were the three other biggest news topics of Raw. So with Roman Reigns being out with leukemia, Vince was into we gotta flip people. So Braun Strowman goes back from heel to babyface. Elias goes from heel to babyface. Dean Ambrose goes from babyface to heel. As you can see how the Roman Reigns effect had started immediately. Now, you're saying to yourself, what's going to happen with anybody else? What are they going to do with the Universal title? Again, Strowman and Lesnar is going on as planned for Saudi Arabia. Again, I gave you guys my video, which I uploaded yesterday, what I'll do with the Universal title. That's up on the channel. You can go check out what I said about that. And then SmackDown this week. Oh, Ronda and Nikki Bella. It was SmackDown to its whole self. SmackDown. They just said, let's just fast forward to Evolution. Who cares about SmackDown? Because SmackDown really, besides Charlotte and Becky Lynch, I mean, what? You rehashed AJ and Daniel Bryan versus the Usos. You rehashed that. Nobody cared about that again. Then you had, what else? You had Becky and Charlotte was like the only thing that standed out. Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy. Like, who cares? There really was not Rusev versus Aiden English. SmackDown was just like, who cares? Besides Roman Reigns. Biggest topic. Biggest storyline this week. Again, Ambrose and Rollins. Again, Ambrose and Rollins is going to be good regardless. But to me, NXT is what wrestling should be. That's why I'm so more invested in NXT that Raw, I mean, they tried with Ambrose and Rollins. I mean, we'll see what's going to happen going forward with that. But NXT, Gargano, Aleister Black, man. I mean, come on, people. Come on, people. Again, people are already saying, why did they turn Gargano? Gargano was losing the Velveteen Dream. He's already lost to Tommaso Ciampa. You rehabbing again Gargano versus Ciampa again. No offense, they have had great matches, but you gotta do something different. So Triple H, the innovator himself, said, you know what? Gargano can use a heel turn. Aleister Black can use a resurgence as a babyface. So, boom. Now, people are saying, what's going to happen with Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano? Are they going to go back to being friends? Listen here. Triple H is down NXT has the logic. He has logic. I think he'll keep Gargano and Ciampa away from being tag teams, but he'll have them having, maybe being on the same page, but not being like best friends. You know what I'm saying? Like they have the same goal in mind, which is to take out Aleister Black. So NXT was great this week. NXT UK, I did not watch yet. I'll probably watch it tomorrow. Mae Young Classic. Toni freaking Storm, man. That girl. Vince McMahon. Watch NXT, please. Please watch it. Look at Toni Storm. Look at Bianca Belair. Look at this. This is what we want. Watch NXT. Toni Storm's amazing. Probably right now my favorite wrestler in the women's wrestler in the company. Love Toni Storm. So that was the recap for this week, guys. We're going to get back into Behind the Curtain episode 10 right after the break here. Again, we got news on John Cena. Will he be at Crown Jewel? News on Sasha Banks while she's taken out of the ring. News on Crown Jewel, where it's going to take place. It's been confirmed. And reaction backstage to what people think about Evolution. And then news on backstage, who knew about Roman Reigns having leukemia. All that and so much more right here on episode 10 of Behind the Curtain, part 1. Alright guys, welcome back. So let's get right into the topics here for Behind the Curtain episode number 10. Now, I'm going to start off with where Crown Jewel is going to take place. So the last couple, since October 11th, we've been wondering about where this show is going to take place. Is it going to stay in Saudi Arabia? We heard they were looking, like last couple days, where they were frantically looking for another place to have Crown Jewel. Now, my mindset was always, this show's still going to take place in Saudi Arabia. There's not going to mention Saudi Arabia on the freaking show. Because again, people want to mention that. You want people to forget, oh, where's the show going to take place? Where's it going to take place? So let's not mention it on air. Hopefully that it may die down over the next couple weeks, which, again, this is still a topic. Everybody's been discussing this about Crown Jewel. So Vince is not going to get away with it. We all know it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. Now, the real reason why this show is still taking place in Saudi Arabia, they need the $45 million. Because why? You have Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement. You have Brock Lesnar on the show. You have Undertaker on the show. And you have John Cena. Or do you not have John Cena on the show? But regardless, you have Lesnar, Taker, Michaels. You have to pay them. I think Shawn's supposed to make like $2 or $3 million from this show. Lesnar's probably going to make his $4 or $5 million or $2 million, whatever. Taker's going to at least make $1 million himself. So, again, Vince is going to have it take place in Saudi because they're supposed to get, what, I think, like $45 million for this deal here, for this show here. So, let's see where the show's going to take place. Is it going to be in Saudi? Now, we're going to talk about the reports also in this article, but let's just talk about the third quarter highlights. Okay. Revenue reached, Jesus Christ, this is a lot of money. As much as we talk about Raw and SmackDown, bro. We're going to touch on that's right. Crown Jewel is going to take place in Saudi Arabia as confirmed by Vince McMahon on the stock report, which was also the quarter earning. So Vince says it will take place in Crown Jewel, will take place in Saudi Arabia, regardless. Again, that's why I knew it was going to take place in Saudi, because they need the $45 million, people. They need the $45 million. Okay? So, the next topic on here, let's get on to the next topic, is about Mr. Sir C Nation himself, John Cena. 1 second, guys. I'm going to have to cut a lot of shit out. I just want to take the scores. See, they don't fall too far behind. I'm editing right now. Okay, not bad. Do a lot of cutting. Okay. Backstage update on Mr. C Nation himself, John Cena. Okay, so reports again came out this week was that Daniel Bryan and Cena don't want to wrestle. Now, that is to me, again, if they don't want to work, they shouldn't want to work, okay? It looks like John Cena has not changed his mind on working the WWE Crown Jewel event in Saudi Arabia for November 2nd. It was recently reported that Cena and Daniel Bryan had informed WWE officials that they would not be working Crown Jewel due to WWE controversial working with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. There has been no update on Bryan's status, but it was reported that WWE Creative was told to look for a replacement for Cena on Monday. Okay, Robbie Fox of Barstool Sports reported today that Cena is still 100% off the show. The update comes on the same day that WWE announced that the show will go on scheduled in Saudi Arabia. John Pollock reports that WWE Creative does not have a replacement for Cena in mind. Pollock adds that it should be noted how he was not graphically specified reason on Cena. Oh my God. Specific reason on Cena removal from Crown Jewel, but is believed to be due to the controversy surrounding Saudi Arabia. Of course it is. WWE officials were still hopeful that Cena would change his mind, which is why he was still being advertised for the World Cup tournament on Raw and SmackDown this week. Fox reported today that there has been no change in Cena in. Okay, people, John Cena is doing a movie with Jackie Chan. Okay, now, would you want the... Well, I think, where's Cena in Japan? I think Cena's in Japan. Would you want the Japan government to be like, hey, Cena's working with Saudi Arabia? Cena in the U.S., how will that make his fans feel about John Cena? How would that make his, let's say, his John Cena's investors? You know what I'm saying? John Cena's movie career. How would that make him look working with the Saudi Arabia government? Cena's got to think about himself, not always think about WWE. Again, John Cena's doing movies. Yeah, he would like to keep a clean image, okay? Now, as far as this show taking place, again, you could easily replace Cena with Dean Ambrose. You could easily replace Cena with Drew McIntyre. You could easily replace Cena with Finn Balor. You could easily replace Cena with Elias. Now, people in the back creative are probably saying to themselves, they're not thinking like me. I just named you 4 or 5 people you can replace John Cena with. You know what I'm saying? Cena doesn't want to work it. Cena should have to work it. Now, the news on Dan Bryan still reportedly is that Dan Bryan's going to work due to out of respect for AJ Styles. So, Dan Bryan's going to be on the show. I think if John Cena doesn't want to work it, don't work it. You can replace him again. Ambrose, Balor, Elias. Did I mention Drew McIntyre? Those are 4 or 5 people you can replace John Cena with. I don't know why they think this is so hard. I think Cena will not be there. If he doesn't want to be there, he doesn't have to be there. So, no John Cena, in my opinion. He won't be there. Now, let's continue here, people. Let's go ahead and, again, I'm rapidly flying this around because, again, Red Dead's already freaking done behind the curtain. Again, doing a lot of cutout and editing, people. God would not know how to do that. All right, let's go with the next update to me, which is another update. Backstage news on who knew about Roman Reigns' announcement and Dean Ambrose heel turn. Let's see what we got here. Regarding Roman Reigns announcing his battle with leukemia on Monday night, PW Insider reports that 99% of those in the company had no idea what was going on with Roman Reigns and what his announcement was going to be before he went out to the ring. The upper level officials in the company, likely the McMahon family, inner circles, and talent relations, were the only ones who knew before the announcement was made on Monday night that Roman Reigns was ill, along with the members of Roman Reigns' family. The announcers were not clued into the announcement, which is crazy. So those were initial reactions. Roman taking time off and dropping the Universal title obviously changes some creative plans, like The Rock versus Roman Reigns. No offense, again, people, no offense. Rock versus Roman Reigns, thank God it's not going to happen now. PW Insider adds that most plans for WrestleMania 35 main event are now changing out the window. But as noted recently, the main event was not locked in. Reigns was still expected to be part of the top matches for WrestleMania 35. Reigns' announcement did not push up the heel turn. Reigns' announcement did not push up the heel turn by the new tag team champions Dean Ambrose. That turn was planned for the future, but officials decided to pull the trigger early, which is smart. PW adds that this was not a creative plan made at the last minute due to Reigns' announcement, but the turn was moved up. Okay, scrap that. They just said the plans were not pushed up, but they said they pushed them up. You know what I'm saying? But again, Ambrose turning heel, again, they had to fill the roles because, again, Roman Reigns, again, him being champion, look, Ambrose was not going to turn heel no time soon. Braun Strowman was going to continue to be a heel. Elias was going to continue to be a heel. What else we had? Now maybe Finn Balor can rejuvenate himself, which I hope he does. But Roman Reigns being out frees up some people. Again, Ambrose being this heel, which I think is going to do really good work. Rollins being back being a babyface, which they killed his momentum. Finn Balor again. Ambrose, Rollins, Strowman, McIntyre, Raw. You have to be creative now. You have to be creative. Again, I would go with the tournament for Survivor Series, but they're probably not going to do that. We're probably going to see Strowman versus McIntyre for Survivor Series. Again, maybe I would do a tournament. It just fits so much better because I would not want to waste Ambrose and Rollins at Survivor Series. I want my tournament. I want my tournament. I want my tournament. It'd be a great idea. I said the tournament would be, you would have Dean Ambrose win the tournament. I think that would do great. Dean Ambrose wins the tournament. You can still conclude Strowman, Rollins, and Ambrose now until WrestleMania. You can do it. That'd be great. Then maybe you can put in Finn Balor. It could work, people. Now Roman Reigns being out, it frees up creative to actually use their freaking brain. Because I think creative was always cash strapped. Would have to do what's best for Roman Reigns. What's best for Roman Reigns. And you're not focusing on nobody else. So Roman being out frees up some stuff. So let's see what they do with Roman Reigns being out. What they going to do with Raw. But I fear they're going to give the ball to Strowman to say, we'll worry about you guys later on down the line. But that's what I would do, man. It works so better, man. All right, let's continue. We're going to continue the last 2 topics here on Behind the Curtain, episode 10, part number 1. We're going to leave it off with the women. And then for tomorrow, you have the Evolution preview and predictions mixed in Behind the Curtain, part 2, and some other topics, too. So let's touch on Sasha Banks. Several reasons why WWE recently pulled Sasha from the ring and while she was off TV for a couple of weeks. WWE noticed How was Sasha Banks pulled from the ring? Let's get down to it. We noted how Sasha Banks was pulled from the ring in September due to an injury, but WWE officials were being quiet on what the injury was. Now, back in the creative area, people were thinking to themselves, why Sasha off TV? I was thinking to myself, maybe Sasha was being outspoken about Alexa Bliss getting a spot that she does not deserve. You know what I'm saying? And also with this crap of Nikki Bella main eventing Evolution against Ronda Rousey. Maybe that's why I thought Sasha was being pulled off TV. Maybe this is because they want to keep her off TV, punish her because, again, she's being outspoken on Twitter, outspoken on podcasts about certain stuff like Nikki Bella main eventing Evolution. I thought that's what it's going to be, but let's see what it's going to be. Officials were being quiet on what the injury was. Banks recently returned to the ring and will be at Action Evolution, a shitty-ass 6-man tag match. As seen above, Banks appeared on the Catch Conversation podcast with Maria Menounos. Revealed she has been suffering from a concussion-like symptoms. I was having head pain and I couldn't function. I couldn't even drive. I couldn't sleep. Banks says, I'm like, I need to go get checked out. I went to several neurologists, and they just pretty much told me that I had post-concussion symptoms and just needed to rest. It came kind of scary. I'm like, I'm going to make Evolution. I was recently scared because we've been having a lot of concussions, like Alexa Bliss. That's why she won't be wrestling at Evolution, being replaced with Alicia Fox. A lot of concussion meetings with WWE, taking care of ourselves and our heads, training our head problems. I'm like, I'm not okay. I can't function. I can't wrestle, can't drive, can't sleep, can't eat. So I need to get checked out. Thankfully, God, I'm okay and I feel back to normal and ready for Sunday. I don't want to say bullshit, but let's just be saying this, people. I really think the way they treated Evolution is just like Sasha and Bayley. They started Evolution during a 6-man tag match. Asuka, undefeated, running NXT in the Battle Royal. Like, what the freak? That's just crazy. I don't want to say bullshit, but it really just has a bad feeling to me. I'm like, that's what Sasha says, man. I'm gonna go with that, but again, I think she's been outspoken backstage, and they're like, no, we're gonna keep you off TV for a couple weeks, man. Cool off. Now, final topic here for episode 10, episode part number 1 for episode 10. We're gonna conclude this with Evolution. Backstage reaction to WWE Evolution, reason for WWE announcing the pay-per-view. Now, we all know why they announced this pay-per-view. Women can't wrestle in Saudi Arabia. We need to give them a bone. Let's throw them a bone. So let's see what they have to say backstage. The weekend, WWE visits the NASA Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Uniondale, New York, for WWE Evolution pay-per-view. The first ever all-women's WWE event will see Ronda Rousey defend the WWE Championship against Nikki Bella. Should be Charlotte versus Becky Lynch in the main event, but we know they won't be. Against Nikki Bella. While WWE has also announced a crappy battle royal, which is waste of talent, waste of people that it was wasted. Battle royal to crown whoever wins gets the number contendership, and she can choose whoever she wants to wrestle for the title, whichever brand she's on. If it's a SmackDown person, wrestle SmackDown. Raw, they wrestle Raw. WWE has been building the show crappily as a historical event, which we will not remember, with the female WWE talent taking center stage. Wow. This weekend edition of Raw and SmackDown did very poor to promote. Of course they did. Well, Raw, again, was pretty much dominated by Roman Reigns, okay? SmackDown was SmackDown was a Charlotte and Becky, but nothing else. Dave Meltzer, on their most recent Wrestling Observer Radio, noted that an internal reaction to the pay-per-view was that nobody in the company saw it as a big show, which it doesn't, not promoted like a big show. It's a big show. Meltzer further noted that the event was announced for Stephanie McMahon to brag about the show, and also as a way to take heat for the women not traveling to Saudi Arabia. Which, that's what we reported. That's what I reported. As earlier reported, again, Crown Jewel will take place in Saudi Arabia. Again, people, do get my full thoughts tomorrow when I do the preview prediction for Behind the Curtain, episode 10, part 2. But that's what we thought backstage. It really is just a show to give the women and say, hey, you're not wrestling in Saudi Arabia? Let's throw them a bone. That's really it. I mean, again, you have Asuka, again, who was undefeated for a whole year. Was it almost 2 years undefeated? And she's just thrown into a battle royal because you wasted her. Becky, Sasha, Bayley. Come on, man. They deserve better. They should be main eventing, not two people. Ronda Rousey, who just came in the company, Nikki Bella, who doesn't wrestle full time anymore, are going to be the main event. What kind of shit is that? This is crazy, people. Again, tomorrow, Behind the Curtain, episode 10, part 2, to get my Evolution preview and predictions, and also some more news topics in there. Hulk Hogan talking about he will be in Saudi Arabia. So this is a couple of things you get tomorrow for episode 10, part number 2. And guys, comment down below what do you think about the topics. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Again, people, I'm back because you guys have requested it. I'm back because I got more followers, more wrestling people on the channel. So you get more content here for wrestling on the weekend. Again, I have to make it up because I can't go live on Sundays for wrestling pay-per-views. But let me know what you guys think about episode part 10, part 1. Catch you guys tomorrow for part... Actually, no, catch you guys... Yeah, tomorrow. Catch you guys tomorrow for part 2.
The way we put this shit together, you know what I mean?